Big game coming up in London. We're going to break it down right after this. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to GG Sports Podcast After Dark. Yes, I know a little bit later than we normally go here, but we had some things we had to take care of before this. But we're here. We're talking about the upcoming game against the Browns in London. Need a big bounce back here. Obviously, 2-2 after a disappointing showing in Dublin against the Steelers, a game that was winnable. And just like we've seen this year, too many mistakes, too inefficient on offense when he needed to be, even defensively unable to stop the run. So everything that has gone wrong, injuries, everything that has gone wrong for us this year is going to be culminated in this game, right? I mean, the inability to stop the pass rush. Well, you got Myles Garrett and damn good Cleveland defense coming up. Inability to stop the run. You got Quinshon Judkins, who's an absolute truck right now coming up. And on the flip side, and then on the flip side of it all, us unable to really be efficient on offense and going up against this defense is going to be a tough thing. But we also have a pretty good defense as well. Again, going to have to stop the run. But the good thing this week is you are going up against a rookie quarterback in Dylan Gabriel, and Brian Flores, since he's been here, has had pretty good luck against rookie quarterbacks, 4-0, only allowing 11.3 points per game. So this has the makings of an ugly defensive type game. And I think when we get to score predictions, my score prediction will represent that pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. It's a big game. I don't know if you want to call it a must win, but it really feels like a must win, especially with the schedule we have coming up after the bye week.
Yeah.
And then, of course, depending on the play of our quarterback, that's going to shift the whole conversation next week going into the bye week. So it's a big game for a lot of reasons, for a lot of different players. But at the end of the day, I don't care how it gets done. I don't care who does it. You got to find a way to come out of this 3-2.
Yeah, and you're up against a rookie quarterback, obviously. And, I mean, he was drafted 3rd round, I believe. So you're talking about 3rd round rookie quarterback. Man, this is, I mean, yeah, you got Carson Wentz here, but who has kind of been up and down to this point, but you should expect for Gabriel to make some mistakes over there. Just that alone makes you feel like people keep saying, like, who would you rather face, Flacco or Gabriel? I mean, for us, we definitely have to say Gabriel because he's rookie. I mean, he's going to come and make mistakes. I mean, he's going to be much, 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 much worse than JJ McCarthy looked probably. At least hopefully. Obviously, offensive line, you know, we're going to be, I see Nick in here already talking about snaps going over the head and stuff. I know it sounds like Blake Brandel is most likely going to be taking over the center position, assuming that we don't see Jurgens in there. And yeah, that should be interesting. That's not optimal to have a first-time center ever give his first snaps in an NFL game or whatever. But Cleveland maybe not as bad. But I think as far as I know, we'll look at some of their injury reports this week. But I know one of their tackles is out for the season. Their other one was out last week and was limited yesterday for sure. So, I mean, they have their own issues on the offensive line. Both defenses should have an opportunity to really bring the pass rush in this game. And I kind of just expect Wentz to make, and you mentioned this to me before too. Actually, I'm surprised you haven't brought this up yet, but you told me before that you think this is going to be the team that wins is going to be the one that makes the least amount of mistakes. And that's what it kind of feels like, especially with how these offensive lines are and as well as both the pass rushes for both these teams. And ultimately, you kind of just feel like Carson Wentz, being the veteran that he is going to be the guy that's most likely to make fewer mistakes overall. So
right, like it does feel like that's what O'Connell's going to say. It's like let's just let our defense.
What up, doors?
Let's let our defense take advantage of the rookie quarterback. Carson just go out there, operate the offense, and just get the job done. I mean, and that's one thing that Kevin O'Connell's been good at with these veteran quarterbacks, being in their ear right up to the play clock, just being like, hey, just we're in good position. Don't do something stupid, basically. So, and that's basically what we need to go with in this game here. Because, I mean, look, we know what the defense you're going up against, the penalties that have been plaguing us all year long. You can't put yourself in longer down and distances.
Hey, what up, knowledge? Hell yeah, dude.
Longer down and distances with a defense like this. So, yeah, the penalty, that's where this whole thing starts. It's just both sides of the ball. Penalties need to be cleaned up. I mean, just fundamental discipline type stuff. And I really, really hope that this week Kevin O'Connell is drilling that into their heads because, again, you can't put yourself in a bad – I mean, I don't care who's playing quarterback on the other team. If you give them advantageous field position, they're going to find a way to take advantage of it. I mean, they have a solid-ish offensive line. I mean, I know they have some injuries, but then they also do have a running back in Quinshon Judkins who's tearing it up right now. So it's honestly, it's not a good matchup for this team, for the current makeup of this team. Like, the matchups aren't great, right? The only bright spot about this is the rookie quarterback on the other side of the field.
Really, the only matchup that honestly seems to have the most advantage in this game is probably the Browns' run games versus our run defense. That's like the only matchup I can see in this game. But even on the other side, like our wide receivers compared to their secondary is not nearly as bad as their passing game should be against our secondary. So they should struggle significantly in the passing game. So that's why, like, it feels like it should be one-dimensional for the Browns, which is not really the case for us, which, well, at the same time, we might struggle everywhere, but we got talent. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Mason over there on our side. So that's the only thing. But if there was one thing for the Browns, it does seem like they kind of have they match up a little bit better just because they have Quinshon Judkins against a run defense that has been just up and down so far.
Yeah, and the biggest thing on offense, like, you got to find efficiency because, like, you can't put yourself in third and long situations like we've seen too much of this year. Be it by penalties or just inefficient play calling or inefficient operation on the plays. Like, going up against this defense with the current state of the offensive line, you have to keep them on their toes. You have to keep short third down distances. And if you're going to go for it on a couple fourth downs, obviously you got to make it manageable. But it's just with the current state of this team, you can't afford the penalties, and you can't afford this inefficient play calling that's putting us in all these third and long situations.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a good day for you if Myles Garrett's able to pin his ears back on most of your dropbacks if you're sitting there in third and long situations.
Yeah. And then one more thing before we jump into some injury stuff here is just like you kind of mentioned, it does kind of feel like, and we've said this years before, where it's just like, this feels like a must win. This feels like a must win. A really obvious one was the quarterback carousel, because we said that, what was it, like the first four, it was like we lost, like, what was it? We lost the first 4 games. Was that what it was? Or won 1 of 4, whatever it was.
We lost the first 3 that year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were like, oh, this is a must win. And all of a sudden we have like a 3-game stretch where Kirk Cousins playing really well. And then we're like, oh, well, I guess it didn't matter that much. And then he obviously tears his Achilles, and then obviously everything downhill for there. But because this is obvious, if you lose this game, you go into the bye 2-3, it doesn't technically mean the season's over.
No, but
like you said,
that
post-bye schedule on top of, bringing JJ McCarthy, it just feels so much better bringing JJ McCarthy back on a 3-2 team than a 2-3 team. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, jumping into some injuries. I don't know if you have any of that stuff up yet on your side. I got some stuff up. Vikings injury, nothing really new compared to yesterday. Christian Darrisaw just isn't participating, non-injury related, so he'll be good. Donovan Jackson. I mean, I guess no. Let me just bring this up. Why not?
Otherwise, I got it here.
You want to bring it up on your screen?
Yeah,
sure. I'll let you do that because my thing will crash. As you do that, actually, can we go back to the other screen real quick? One thing I did want to mention, first off, Kinetic, my guys in the building. I see y'all in here. Nick Riley, George Blunt, Dan. What's going on, Dan? Knowledge. I know I already said what's up. Hey, bro. Hey, I hope you keep going to these Skol Fests. I know my guy Norris is definitely, you got to keep going. What's going on, everybody? And one thing I did want to bring up, Bleeding Purple. I see you. Who else am I missing here? Bleeding Purple, Skol and Roll. I think I've got everybody. One thing I wanted to bring up is I still eventually here coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll get back to doing the card giveaways. There's still like, I don't know, a lot kind of going on here with this move and stuff. And I don't have my stuff set up as far as just like my plan with the USPS and all that kind of good stuff. But we will get back to doing giveaways, and we still plan. It's going to be late. It's going to be late, but we still plan on doing our 2K giveaways where we do have the Jordan Addison rookie autograph, the Harrison Smith autograph, as well as the JJ McCarthy PSA 10. I'll keep you guys updated as far as when we will do that. But all I can tell you right now is make sure to obviously keep coming back to the shows, because we will be jumping into all that good stuff in the next couple weeks. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that stuff up so y'all didn't just think we stopped doing giveaways or whatever. This move has just been a lot bigger than I was kind of expecting to jump into everything.
Damn right, Jan.
Yeah. Right. We appreciate that. We want to Brosmer will come to some points game, book it. Hey, I love that. Welcome in, by the way. Yeah, no, we appreciate that. I just like to, it's just cool to have something that we can give to everybody that pops into. Especially that we hit over 2K. Like, that's not even a question. We spent some decent money on those cards and want to make sure that the OGs and the ones that are always in here has the chance at winning those cards here soon. So anyways, Casey, let's jump into some injury stuff here.
Yeah, so like you said, Christian Darrisaw, non-injury, rest related. Then everyone else we kind of already know about. Donovan Jackson's for sure out this week. Michael Juergens hasn't practiced yet. With that hamstring injury that kind of popped up here, which is really unfortunate. Ryan Kelly, as we know, with the concussion, we'll see what that does for the rest of the season, albeit his career. Who knows? JJ McCarthy, as we know about, sounds like O'Connell wants to get him onto the practice field. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see if anything happens there. I heard from some of the beat reporters he was throwing today at least, which is good.
Yeah.
Brian O'Neill, obviously we know, sprained MCL. Hopefully just misses this week in the bye week. We'll see there. Dallas Turner with an illness didn't practice. Luckily he's got a couple days to heal up from that. Van Ginkel, Ben Urasek, sounds like those two are not going to play either, which again is unfortunate. So we're going to need Dallas Turner to come back. We're going to need him to really show what made him a first round pick.
And he should be good by Sunday.
You would think so, yeah. And then obviously Tyler Batty, CJ Ham, 21-day practice window was open from the IR. Then you got Xavier Scott, who was a full participant. And I do feel like Xavier Scott might actually see some quality reps this game. As he did last game, it took some advantage. It took real good advantage of some of his opportunities. Anything on the Vikings front you wanted to point out?
Yeah, just obviously, last Monday I brought up no excuses, but the injury thing does suck, and it's been a while since I've seen this many DNPs on the injury report, and we've been seeing it all year. Which is tough, and that's obviously not great. But good news, CJ Ham. That's a very welcome player to have back right now in this specific time when you're dealing with all this offensive line issues. On top of that, I would just like to see. I want to see the CJ Ham Jordan Mason tandem there and see how Jordan Mason does with a full back in front of him and helping him off at the line of scrimmage there. So that's something I'm excited to see. And
maybe get some of those CJ Ham screen passes.
Yeah. Oh, true. One thing is, that's what I'm wondering. I don't know. I'm assuming he's full participant. I'm assuming they'll just put him back in. I don't know how it will look fully. You're in a different country. Yeah. I don't know how much you haven't really practiced until this week. I don't really know how much CJ Ham to expect, but I hope we definitely see some of him.
I would bet he's probably not back this week. I think they want to condition him, get him into game form. I would guess probably after the bye.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too.
But either way, it's good to see that he's at least back out on the practice field. He just adds so much from a blocking perspective when he's here and healthy. Moving on to the Browns. Mike Hall, their defensive tackle, ruled out already. Jack Conklin, Myles Garrett moved up from DNP to limited participant. That's huge for them, unfortunately. Greg Newsome, limited with a hamstring injury. And then everyone else here on the injury report did move up to full participant. So looks like on their front, they're doing much better than we are. One DNP where we had 6? So,
yeah.
From an injury perspective, not pretty at all. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do what you can with what you got, right? And Kevin O'Connell has shown he can do that in the past. So
and Myles Garrett, that's I'm guessing. I haven't looked into it specifically, but I'm guessing he'll probably end up playing in this game.
It seems that way. Yeah. Normally the move up from DNP to limited is tomorrow will be a big telling point, obviously, with the final injury report. But yeah.
Yeah. Keeping on. Let's go with the keys to victory in this one. We'll jump into that. Let me look at some stuff over here, though. Well, we should practice holding the flag in the rest pocket. Makes it look like you're blocking something. That's crazy. Just don't like seeing fans. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm with you on this.
Yeah,
it's
weird. I mean, I think there's a lot of fans that were ready for him to struggle just so they could.
Yeah, that's what's crazy because two games is never like. In what logical sense ever is the youngest quarterback in the NFL, first 2 games of his career, and they're like, there's people out there making memes about JJ truthers. Some fans are making this too. Yeah. Oh, they really are. But I don't know why. Why? I don't get it.
Like, it's funny because there was reports today on The Athletic, like multiple NFL execs questioned Vikings for moving on from Sam Darnold. Like, those exact same execs, if he had played well, would have been the ones being like, "What a genius move, going on to your cheap rookie quarterback who's filling in admirably for." Like, anybody can say things in hindsight. It's so stupid. Like, that's why I read that. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, of course they're gonna say that because it's been 2 weeks or been 4 weeks and he's missed 2 games and the first 2 games didn't go well. Like, anyone can make a hindsight statement, and that's why I read that. I'm like, this is just so stupid. Like, this doesn't prove anything. You know, like, Sam Darnold's playing well. Guess what? We all figured Sam Darnold would go somewhere else and play well, right? We saw enough from him to be like, hey, if he goes to a team that can protect him and he gets some good play calls, he's going to play well. We knew that this was a very good possibility for Sam Darnold to do this. It just shows the faith that this front office and coaching staff had in JJ McCarthy. Has it come to fruition yet? No. But guess what? Like you said, it's been 2 freaking games. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, he's injury prone. Like, okay, it's fair. He's had a couple injuries, sure.
All right, which is concerning, but he never had an injury ever up until that point.
Right. But it's just, I don't know. It is annoying. It's annoying that your young guy, like, yeah, he went out and struggled, but he's got to learn. He's got to take his lumps. That's how people grow. And like, oh, he doesn't have any, you're going to switch to a guy who has no experience. Well, if you never start him, that's going to be the case forever. I hate that argument. Like, oh, he has no NFL experience. Like, how do you want him to get some then?
Yeah.
And start him in the last couple games of the season when it doesn't mean anything. Well, what if you never get there? It's just, I don't know. It's just people that don't want to go to the young quarterbacks. They don't want to take the time for them to develop. They want to win today. And we all want to win now, but you realize with the way that this team is kind of moving towards, it's not going to be a win now proposition. It just isn't. There's going to be some growing pains. You're going to have to wait. I get it. People have been waiting a long time. I understand that, but
and the same people the reality is the same people, we would have never even had Sam Darnold. We'd still be sitting on the Kirk Cousins situation if it was the same people, because the same people have that mindset. Like, I just want to win. That's what's crazy to me. I'm like, man, we've won a lot. We always win. The Vikings mostly always win, or well, with Kirk Cousins, like 8-8 or whatever, but like win, make playoffs, get bounced after the first week.
Yeah, like, don't show us that, right? Don't show the 5th winningest, one of the top 5 winningest franchises, but never like that doesn't have a Super Bowl.
Like, legit, like, we've seen enough winning. It is at the point now where it's more than like, it's like super. You got to go for a Super Bowl if you have an opportunity to go for a Super Bowl, which AKA is rolling the dice on the rookie quarterback. Because the Sam Darnold thing. Yeah, like you said, I would never be surprised. I was not surprised to see that Sam Darnold would have a better year than JJ McCarthy statistically this year. That was never going to be surprised. He's a 22-year-old rookie. I don't care where he's drafted or whatever. If it's even Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, obviously you could say Caleb Williams, who's starting to look better now, but especially after his rookie season. Drake May, like, we can say all these names. You can't expect any of them to come. None of those guys even touched what Sam Darnold did last year. Of course, that wasn't going to happen. Anybody that's paying attention knew you signed Sam Darnold. That's $30 million. You're losing. That's both, even though, I know there's some gripes against Jonathan Allen in the Hargrave thing or whatever, but like, that's both their contracts. They're not on this team. Things like that. Like, a big part of it is like, you're rolling the dice on JJ McCarthy. And the reality is that there is a possibility that it doesn't work, that JJ McCarthy isn't the guy and we don't win a Super Bowl because of it. But it doesn't make me feel like Sam Darnold was going to win us a Super Bowl either.
Yeah.
So
and
you
like
just
the
have
flip
to
side,
take
like
some
obviously like the whole
chances
thing with going with McCarthy was having the extra cap space to go and sign some other players, which look, when you can easily say that we did that, right? We went out and signed some players. To this point, has it worked? No, because a lot of the guys we brought in have either been ineffective or worse, or are obviously dealing with some injuries. But again, even coming into the season, even with this offensive line at full health, I had said before the season started, I had thought there was going to be some growing pains anyway, because throughout training camp, Darisaw wasn't fully 100% go. Will Fries was working back from an injury. Ryan Kelly, the vet, was getting some rest days. So like this offensive line, I figured was going to take some time to gel. Obviously, yes, that's been pushed back even farther with all the injuries. Right. But I don't know. So yes, and you can have gripes with the way that we built this team. Like, yeah, we spent a lot of money on some aging free agents, and yeah, what's happened. But at the end of the day, it's the right move. You want to surround. I mean, it was the right move on paper to surround your young quarterback with veteran talent that can help you win now, as well as develop your quarterback. Now, again, could you say that hasn't worked out so far? Yes, but again, it's been 2 games of seeing the kid play football. And I know we have some people that watch the show that the only reason they want to be down on him is because, all you people last offseason were yelling at me for not thinking he was going to be any good right away. It's just like, what's wrong with people believing that the guy that they drafted to be their quarterback is going to be good someday and might be better than people think right away? Now, yes, it hasn't shown itself now, but I don't know. You saw the potential. That fourth quarter against the Bears should tell you everything you need to know about the guy up here.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's just developing on the field and eventually getting your full healthy team around him so he can actually be protected from pass rushers by a good offensive line. So it's just like it really is. It's the classic 76ers. Trust the process, right? Like It is a big part of it. They moved on from Sam Darnold for a reason. They pulled their hat. They pulled their hat out of the Daniel Jones situation,
right,
for a reason, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's wild to me, because like if they didn't think this was their guy, they would be like. They would kind of do like what the 49ers did when you find that quarterback that plays well. If they truly didn't believe McCarthy was going to be their guy, they'd have been like, well, we can't get rid of Darnold now. He's playing well. We got to bring him back. They didn't do that. Mm-hmm. So obviously they believe that the young kid that they drafted number 10 overall is going to end up being that guy for them. It's just going to take some time. And that's really all it comes down to, is people just need to be okay that we might not win this year. And even if McCarthy does come back after the bye and he plays well and we win 4 more games, there's still going to be those people calling for O'Connell's head, even if you see that progression in your young quarterback. Like, to me and you, we thought we could win this year, sure. But this year for us was seeing that development take place. Like I said, if we win 6 games, but we know by the end of the season, like, oh yeah, this kid's got it, I'd have been fine with that. Right? Like, that's what this whole season was about.
Well, especially this season when you're dealing with so many injuries.
Yeah. And guess what?
That's the thing on top of it. If you have a bad season.
Right. Last year, watching 26, 27-year-old Sam Darnold do what he did, that was fun, because you knew he had a potential to do something, which he did. I am not excited to watch I would not be excited to watch Carson Wentz play 14 more games.
Especially right now.
I'm sorry.
Like, we've seen enough. It's been 2 games, but he's 32-year-old vet. Obviously, and I don't even like coming in and being a backup quarterback. I think Carson Wentz is fine as the backup, and I feel comfortable if JJ McCarthy goes down, have him in there. You ain't gonna win a Super Bowl or whatever, but like we've said before, like this year, we thought we'd win this year with JJ McCarthy just because his team's so talented. These injuries it is a bitch to have these injuries for this season. The way the season has started is just not optimal. And honestly, I know people hate it, but we've been unlucky so far this season with these injuries. And I do think we can still be a winning team or whatever. It starts with this game and winning this one and going 3-2 before this bye here. But like you said, all of this year for us, in our opinion, was just seeing the progression of JJ McCarthy. Yes, we want to see we want the season to end, and to be fair, to feel confident enough in JJ McCarthy that he'll make the leap in the next 2 years, because we are in the camp, and we've been here literally ever since the first year Kwesi's been here, especially once Kirk Cousins left. We've always kind of known that the next 2 seasons after this one was the Super Bowl window, especially when you drafted JJ McCarthy and all that kind of stuff. So I do think it's going to be telling to find out if JJ McCarthy shows enough throughout the season to feel confident that he can do that for us going into these next 2 seasons. Because if not, then you might be questioning some stuff. And that's what I've mentioned before. That's why it's important to play JJ McCarthy as well, is because what if you do go through the whole season and see no progression? Then you might have to make one of those type of moves where you go and bring a veteran in or something like that. Obviously that's not what I'm hoping for. That's not what I think is going to happen, but that's another important reason why you want to see what you have in JJ McCarthy. How far away is he, or do you see that progression out of him?
Yeah. And I know people like to bring up the Jordan Love situation. Like, that's not what Sam Darnold did last year, is not the same as having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback and your young quarterback in waiting sitting behind him. It's not the same situation at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was like, again, if Darnold won you a Super Bowl, fine, pay him and let McCarthy ride the bench for a couple years until Darnold's ready to move on and you're ready to start him. But it was not the same situation as the Rodgers Jordan Love thing that people like to compare it to.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the Packers have a great, they sit their quarterbacks for years. Like, yeah, well, we've never had a quarterback win a Super Bowl in front of them, so it doesn't fucking matter. I don't care.
Right.
Look, love Sam Darnold. Knew he'd be good wherever he went, but moving on from Sam Darnold at the end of the day, for the future of this franchise, is the right move.
Especially as far as winning a Super Bowl goes, because I do not think Sam Darnold in his contract was going to make us a Super Bowl team. We've mentioned this before. The goal is to be you need to be the best team in the NFL. If you don't feel like you're the best team in the NFL, then what are you doing? Like, the Eagles are the best team. The Lions are getting close there. They're just the most talented team. They're the favorites to win the Super Bowl again, like they did last year. They were the most talented team last year. They won the Super Bowl. With Sam Darnold and using his contract, obviously we have potential to be the most talented team if everybody's healthy. And of course, with the question mark, that is JJ McCarthy. But with Sam Darnold, that wasn't going to happen. So you do, to win a Super Bowl, which we have never done, you have to take a little bit of a gamble. You have to, which JJ McCarthy is that gamble. Yeah. And that's just the facts of it. If you want to win a Super Bowl, if you just want to win, then yeah, probably sticking with Sam Darnold was probably the play. But then that would have been the same people, like I said, would have been the ones that would have wanted to keep Kirk Cousins around anyways, and you would have never even had Sam Darnold regardless.
Because they were afraid of this. Like, they were afraid of what is happening to this team right now. Happening. Guess what? We are in the midst of it. Yes. But on the bright side, our young quarterback has barely gotten a chance to play. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think after that bye, I do think the offensive line is going to be a lot more healthy. And who knows? Maybe Ryan Kelly never plays another snap this year. But even having Darisaw, Donovan Jackson, Juergens, Fries, and Brian O'Neill, I think that's going to be a much better offensive line for McCarthy to play behind anyway. So
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I should just be patient. I mean, I understand. No, people don't like it's instant gratification. That's kind of the world we live in, where everything's at your fingertips. You want it now, you get it now. Well, yeah. You waited how many years? 60 some years for the Vikings to win a Super Bowl anyway. It's another couple.
Yeah. And on top of that, a couple things I want to mention is, one is like if JJ McCarthy comes back after the bye, it's still going to be a roller coaster. Let me see that. Okay. If JJ can't do it in 2 years, we have to have the conversation. Man, it wasn't good year one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you could even say, like, if he's far behind after this 1 year, you can still have that conversation. If you feel like he can't even make a leap going into year two, but especially after that, because I think that will be a really important year. But obviously that's a conversation for later. But when JJ McCarthy comes back, it's still going to be up and down, especially with the way our schedule is set up after this bye. So it's not going to be perfect. That's one thing that kind of sucked, is that JJ McCarthy has lost once all through college. I don't even know the last time he lost in high school. It's been a long time since he's lost a game. So that's one thing that I was really disappointed of, is to see how he comes back from a loss, and would have been great against that Bengals team. But that was one thing that was really disappointing, is that you didn't get to see that. And it will be kind of suck to see him have to come back against an Eagles defense. But at the same time, it is what it is. And it'll be interesting to see. But one thing else I wanted to bring up real quick too is like that's one thing everybody keeps saying is just the one good quarter out of 8, one good quarter out of 8. But I'm like, how can like everybody's just weighing these quarters the same? Like that one quarter should be worth like 3 quarters. Like that one quarter was insane for a first start ever by an NFL quarterback to come back in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, I like the fact that people will just chalk that up as 1 out of 8 quarters, which obviously like reality, like it was. But when if you were to weigh quarters, like that one quarter means a lot more than every other one of those losing quarters there. And I feel like JJ McCarthy deserves a little bit more respect than he is on that than just looking at it as straight face value.
And
what up, my boy Philly in the building, Mark Phil.
And the other thing too that bothers me is people are like pointing out, Ed Ingram is the highest rated guard PFF wise in the league. Well, guess what? That Texans offensive line is a freaking joke overall, like absolute joke. I'm pretty sure he was one of the guys that let someone go right through and hit CJ Stroud before he even got into his drop back. And then Garrett Bradbury, I guess he's playing pretty well too. But people are saying like, maybe we should have moved on from these guys. Like, shut up. If we kept those guys, you'd be bitching about it. Fans be bitching the
That's
same.
So
like,
crazy.
Really? This front office is going to keep Ed Ingram and Garrett Bradbury?
Bro,
this is a joke. Like,
there was not one fucking fan that wanted to keep Ed Ingram or Garrett Bradbury.
No, remember we traded. I mean, Garrett Bradbury. I know people said you probably could have gotten something for him. That's fair. But but Ed Ingram, when we got a 6th round pick, people were overjoyed. Like,
dude, nobody wanted Eddie. He was
we need like that's one thing with Kevin O'Connell too. People say he's too soft. Like, it's probably time to fire your offensive line coach. The offensive line's been garbage since he's been here. Like,
dude, if you have this much talent, and we haven't seen everybody together yet, but I mean, as fans, it's different than actually being coaches and watching everything from the inside. But from fans, it is like if Ed Ingram and Garrett Bradbury, if all people go on and play like fucking all pros somewhere else, then there's a fucking problem, a massive fucking problem. But
I still don't think they're that good. I think it's just
no. It'll be interesting to see how things go on or whatever. But we'll see. Anyways,
that's our rant.
That's our rant.
That's our rant about JJ McCarthy's the future. We all know it. It's fine.
And it just you at least like you got to give him a chance. And this
he has Jordan Addison now too. That's big.
Yeah. And this is like whether you're a JJ McCarthy hater, which is just wild that there's so many already. Whether you're a JJ McCarthy hater or not, you should still, in my opinion, you should still be in the camp of wanting him to play just to figure out whether he is that guy or not. So the Vikings can roll with it or move on or come up with another plan. Because that's like the worst case scenario. That's why picking a quarterback that early is tough. And people talk about how it sets teams back 3 years or however many years it is drafting a quarterback in the first round. And it's going to just take longer if you don't find out what you have in them. So I'm like, if you're a JJ McCarthy, like Carson Wentz isn't the guy. You shouldn't care if it's this, like, unless we're going to win a Super Bowl, you should not care about how many games we win this year. In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, from 70, I love it. Let's do it.
I like that. Anyways, back to the Vikings Browns games. Going into some keys to victories here. At number 5, let me bring this up.
Yeah, I mean, as I kind of talked about in the outset, penalties. I mean, absolutely killing this team. Was it? I think it was Norris who said earlier, 37 accepted penalties on this team this year, unacceptable. Again, I don't care who you're playing against. I don't care who's playing quarterback in the other team. If you put yourself behind the sticks against this Browns defense with Myles Garrett and a beat-up offensive line, they're going to get after you.
Glasses.
If you give any team on the other side of the ball shorter fields or 15-yard penalties due to undisciplined, stupid plays on the defense, I don't care who's playing quarterback. If they have talent like they do with the run game, we're not good against the run, they're going to find ways to hurt you. So the penalties, number one, and that comes down to coaching. It's discipline. You got to – and look, people are expecting this to be more Vikings fans than Browns fans in London. So you should have a relatively – the crowd should be relatively on your side. And we saw 3 false starts at home against the Bengals. Unacceptable. Like the penalty thing is absolutely like the penalties are the fumbles of 2023, right? Where we just couldn't get out of our own way. It all starts there. Put yourself in advantageous situations, be efficient on offense to get yourself in shorter down and distances. Don't turn the ball over. And it all starts with penalties and putting yourselves in good spots.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, well, I don't. What is the record for? I wonder what the record is for people who win the penalty game, or at least like, especially if you're in the bottom of the league in penalties. I can't imagine a lot of those teams that have winning records. And yeah, we're second worst in penalties in the entire NFL, which is just crazy. You just wouldn't really expect that at this point with Kevin O'Connell, with all these the kind of just like the good players that we have on this team, to continue seeing these penalties. And they need it, especially on offense, that offensive line. Obviously, good chance you see some this week with, a bunch of backups maybe on offensive line. Hopefully not. But yeah, that's going to shoot us in the foot every single time.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on, my guys? Skol State of Mind in the building.
But yes, penalties suck. Can't do them.
Yeah. Keeping on rolling here, going to number 4, and this is obvious. Stop Quinshon Judkins and just that rushing game. Well, it's pretty much just him at this point. Came in and completely took it over. Looking really good at this point already, even missing the first, what was it, 2 weeks?
Games, yeah.
First 2 games. He's still projected for 1,000 yards. This is obvious. I mean, we've been terrible against a run outside of one game where we absolutely dominated in that one against the Bengals. Held Chase Brown to 3 yards on 10 carries, which is ridiculous. But everything else, like as soon as I felt like we were turning around there, we let Kenneth fucking Gainwell come out here and just destroy us for almost 100 yards, which is completely embarrassing. But this is an important one because you got a rookie quarterback. You got an offensive line that also has a lot of injuries there. You got kind of some subpar wide receiver group. I mean, their tight end solid. They got the what's that rookies? Obviously Njoku.
Harold Fannin.
Yeah, Fannin. And then you have Jerry Jeudy. Tillman's out, I believe, and then you have Isaiah Bond, who has been getting some reception here, but just not great. Like we should. And then the Vikings, we've still allow like the second or third fewest receptions in the NFL, and like the bottom 5 in yards allowed. So they shouldn't really get us there.
But it's probably just because teams just decide to run on us so damn much.
I mean, we held Chase Brown to less like 50 yards, and T. Higgins didn't get nothing, and especially like, I mean, they did better up against Denver in their secondary, where they got, arguably the best cornerback in the league, and they've been mostly good. They've been mostly good in the passing game this year. And that's the one thing, is if you can just stop the run game. Obviously last week wasn't great against DK, but we were also getting smoked in the run game. Maybe we just got too confident. This is one that you come back in and it's just like, you just stop Judkins. That's it. Stop Judkins. Let Gabriel beat you with his arm. And I do think there's not even a question, like, that is how you win on defense. I think we have a huge defensive performance in this one if you can control that run game.
And you're going to need to have a big defensive performance. I think it's going to be a very defensive game. I really do. This feels like that freaking Jaguars game to me last year, where just no offense could score. So we'll see. I don't know. It'll be ugly.
But I don't know. You got one guy to look out for. Judkins.
Yeah.
Just go fucking stop his ass, dude. Because that's the thing, is like, you go up against the Steelers and maybe you're like planning for Warren, but still Warren was like, I think 30th in yards per carry with 3.1. Like, and then you got Kenneth Gainwell. Like, if you're the Vikings, you're like, we're probably like not that worried about defending the run in this game. Or maybe you're a little confidence coming off of that Bengals game. Maybe I'm making excuses, by the way, for the Vikings, but maybe that's what it was. Like, your game plan wasn't around stopping the run in that one, and if you got fucked up for it. In this one, your number one priority is stopping the run. And speaking of that, even Grenard came out. I don't know if you've seen it, but he came out with a clip, and I think they asked him whether or not you would rather play against Joe Flacco or Gabriel, and he just said, "My number one goal is to stop the run this game." Start there. I don't care who plays quarterback, just stop the run. So obviously, I think the defense is going to come in here and make their focal point against this run. And if they do that, I really do think the Browns are going to have a hard time scoring on this defense.
Yeah. Yeah, be fun.
You don't seem very confident.
I'm just not excited about this game at all. It's just gonna be so boring.
Casey's just mad because he has Judkins on his
I do have
fantasy
Judkins, so I need him to do decent. But
He has Judkins on his fantasy team. That's what's actually kind of crazy.
yeah.
Hey, what's going on? I be fishing. And actually, football field is wet and shitty. Then Browns win by 10. The actual football field is wet. And,
I think they normally keep Tottenham in pretty good.
Hey,
pretty good
it was wet last year. Because I was at the game last year. It was wet last year, and we ended up with a W and 3 interceptions against Aaron Rodgers. So, hey, we'll see what's up. All right, keep it on rolling though. At number 3, we've got get after Gabriel. Obviously, already mentioned rookie quarterback back there. Some injuries on that offensive line. Casey, what is your thoughts on this? I guess.
Yeah, it's Flores, like I said earlier, 4-0 his rookie quarterbacks, only allowing 11.3 points per game. Gabriel didn't look great in preseason. Looked really good at Oregon, but again, he was a third-round pick for a reason.
Welcome in, Chantel. Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Lefty quarterback. He's 5'11". They say he weighs a little over 200 pounds. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, look, no Van Ginkel, which, as Darren mentioned, is huge. You still have Grenard, Dallas Turner. You're still waiting for that breakout game. My bold prediction on our Bleacher Report video dropping tomorrow is that it's going to be his time where he gets a couple sacks. I hope that comes to fruition. You need to get more push up the middle. Allen and Hargrave. Hargrave's been better than Allen, I feel like, from a pressure perspective. We need both those guys to step up. And I think I saw someone mention it earlier. Get LDR and Redmond more in the rotation because they've been causing some havoc. So, but yeah, you got to get after Gabriel, make the pocket uncomfortable for him. Obviously, I think they're going to lean into that run game to try to get him more comfortable, get him in some advantageous situations. So if you can stop the run and just pin your ears back and get after this young quarterback, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to cough the ball up. You can force him into some turnovers. So that really is it. That should be the name of the game on defense. Stop the run first, because once you stop the run, it's going to be a lot easier to make Dylan Gabriel get the ball, turn the ball over to you, get some extra possessions.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, I like this. Vikings win by 10. I'm assuming are you a Viking fan, Chantel? Or you just hate Cleveland? Which isn't probably hard to do. But yeah, like you've said, it'll be interesting. You're talking about a 3rd-round quarterback. The Shooter Sanders thing will be really interesting. If we go out there and destroy him, obviously, that's one thing too, is like, you got to feel bad for the kid because nobody there wants him. Like, everybody is on Team Sanders. It seems like, anyways, from like the outside looking in. So I'm like, kind of like, rooting for him after this game. Unfortunately, I think we're going to come in and make his life hell. And you're probably seeing Sanders starting, the following week for the Browns. I'm assuming they'll be on a bye as well as us, but maybe you'll see Sanders after this bye, because that's what we have to do. We have to bring all of it. Start with the run, stop the run first, make the Cleveland Browns have to put the ball in Gabriel's hand and make him beat us with his arm. On top of that, there's some slight criticism with Flores' defense sometimes and things like that. But honestly, if there's one defense in the NFL that I think any young quarterback, especially rookie quarterback, especially his first start of his NFL career, that you would not want to play, it's going to be a Flores defense, just because it's a scheme like nobody's else's. And I do think you're going to see Flores take advantage of that and give Gabriel hell. It's going to be a tough one. And honestly, it is kind of surprising to see Cleveland go that direction up against Flores. But that's what they're doing. And you do that, you make Gabriel make mistakes. Obviously, like you mentioned before, or you mentioned before, that this feels like a game, whoever makes the most amount or least amount of mistakes is going to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the way these defenses are playing right now.
That mime shit pulled in the post game.
Yeah, that was really strange. I know he said it was more of like a dig at Rex Ryan.
Yeah, which I'm like, he's the reality, like, he's a young kid. Like, he's going to do some probably immature things sometimes.
Yeah, but that's a little bit.
It is, but Rex Ryan, like, why destroy? Why destroy?
Because if you're him,
kid?
if you're him, you know the camera's on you. I mean, you kind of signed up for this the way that you talk coming into, like, you know anything you do is gonna be under a magnifying glass. What he should have said was, "Hey, I'm the quarterback 3. I'm doing what I can. I'm gonna be ready for the next snap if they need me." That's what you say as a third string quarterback. You're trying to get them to think you're a mature adult.
Yeah.
When you do this stuff, you're taking shots. It's just not. It's not.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think you should be doing that. But at the same time, it is like, I mean, like, I can't deny that it feels like he just gets shit on by people. And who knows? Maybe he comes out and starts one time and absolutely fucking sucks. But like, to see Rex Ryan, like, you're talking, like, football media is having segments to trash on Sanders. Like, that's right, also fair. He's a third string quarterback on the Cleveland fucking Browns, and you have a segment talking mad shit about him.
But now you're giving them reason to do so. And even like Dan Orlovsky said today,
I don't know. He's a young.
Dan Orlovsky said today, it's just a bad look for someone who's trying to be.
It's going to be a bad look no matter what, which is really funny actually. Because this is like completely out of left field, but there's a new show out called Chad Powers. I don't know if you know that whole thing, like the Eli Manning thing that they turned into a show. Well, I watched like the first couple episodes, and that's like it is. I think it's pretty funny. You can tell they do whatever they can possibly do to make the main quarterback character to be like the biggest douche in the world. But a big thing with him is that he ends up getting the backup quarterback. And he's like the backup. He gets backup quarterback, and then the way he reacts is obviously like the most extremely douchey way possible. But just to your point, is when I was watching that, like from that point, it's just like, if you're the backup quarterback, like, you gotta just accept it. You just gotta accept it. So someone like him, like, you should be saying stuff like, yeah, you're quarterback 3. Like, you got to earn it. Like, there's no reason why he should get it over Gabriel. Unless he comes out and he fucking balls, then you are questioning some shit, I guess. But until then, I don't know. It is hard for me to.
Yeah.
I don't know. That whole situation's fucking weird, to be honest.
It's the Browns. The Browns are just a dumpster fire all the time.
Anyways, going back to Chad Powers' show. It's pretty funny. It's worth it.
But you got everything going on there. And you got Baker making a career for himself in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Keeping on rolling though, to number 2 key to victory, and that's take advantage of the red zone. I think I mentioned it earlier. Or was that was maybe on Bleacher Report? I don't know. So you're against a Browns defense that rank 4th in passing yards, 2nd in rushing yards allowed. Just arguably has been the best defense in the league as far as yards go and things like that. But for when teams make it into the red zone, they've been allowing 75% touchdown rate, which is the 5th highest in the NFL. Yes, it's been tough to get to that area on the field for most teams. And if I don't know how it looks like, I don't know what those stats are for us this year, but I know last year we did not do the best when we got into the red zone. But in this game against the Browns, like, if you get to the red zone, you need to take advantage here. They've allowed the 2nd most touchdowns to receivers in this game. You make it to the red zone, get Justin Jefferson, get Jordan Addison moving around, get them in the end zone, get them some touchdowns, take advantage the best you can. And on top of that, I know we haven't been good on third down conversions. That's another one. Like, you could put that on here. Just get first downs on third downs, whatever. But the Browns also rank 5th worst in third down completions against on top of that. So take advantage of those 2 things: red zone, third down conversions. That's just the best hope we've got on offense, I think.
And again, and that kind of loops into with the penalties and just being efficient on offense. Don't put yourself in long down and distances. Get yourself some third and manageables. And when if you're able to take advantage of them in the middle of the 20s, which is where they're really good, and you find ways to get down into the red zone, you have to convert those to touchdowns. You can no more of these field goal, no more settling for field goals on a team that's not good in the red zone. If you find yourself down there, you got to convert those into scores.
Yeah.
But it all goes back to penalties and just being efficient on offense. That's really what this whole game comes down to for our offense, at least with the offensive line we have. You got to find ways to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, get some yards, get some short down and distances, and go from there. So it all comes down to that.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Number one, this is 100% not AI. Perfect picture of the boy Christian Darrisaw. Obviously, if they just keep Garrett over on the right side of their defense, he's getting stopped all day long by Christian Darrisaw, just like he did with Hendrickson, right? Yeah, yep. Hendrickson. But I don't know if I'm the Browns off defensive line, I'm probably moving Myles Garrett all over the place, not against Christian Darrisaw, as well as if assuming that he ends up playing in this game. But I mean, this is obvious, injuries, all that good stuff. What is your thoughts on this? I guess.
I mean, Darrisaw,
but
Darrisaw is obviously has been, now that he's healthy, has been great. Myles Garrett is working his way back from that injury. Sounds like he went from DNP to limited today, so he's going in the right direction here. But yeah, I mean, you got to stop that defense. I mean, I think they have Delvin Tomlinson on that front too. But yeah, Myles Garrett, just like with TJ Watt last week, he's the guy you circle. Like, if this guy beats us, we're not doing a good enough job. You got to make sure that guy doesn't beat you. So yeah,
can we just move Christian Darrisaw around?
What's that?
Just move Christian Darrisaw
wherever
around.
He goes.
Move, that'd be fucking wild. What if it came down to that? I mean, dude, we're Blake Brando's our center. We're thinking about putting fucking Oliver on the offensive line. How crazy it is to just move Christian Darrisaw wherever Myles Garrett's at.
Well, then, yeah, Norris, but then why doesn't he just, I mean, he's a 32-year-old veteran quarterback who's a number 2 overall pick. That's part of the issue with Carson Wentz. His processing is too slow. He's got to be able to move through those progressions a lot quicker than he does. I mean, there's times, like, there was a play that I think Jason posted it earlier this week where it's like, he wasn't even, I mean, didn't even look in that. He was staring. And then I think even the broadcast mentioned on one of his plays, he was staring down the receiver the whole way.
Did.
Like,
it was when we're in the red zone.
Yeah. And again, I get what you're getting at there. I know that's going back to O'Connell and the long developing plays. I get that. But it is also on your quarterback to be able to be a little bit quicker with his processing, to find the open receivers. And again, that just comes down to knowing your offense and knowing where your receivers are going to be. And that's all chemistry stuff. And none of these quarterbacks and receivers have a ton of chemistry together.
Yeah. Which is, I didn't go back and watch the all 22 or anything out myself. But it seems like the people that did were like, oh, wow, there's a lot of plays that there's wide receivers open. Like, it seems like the people that went back, and who knows, maybe they're just trying to defend Kevin O'Connell, maybe not. I don't know. Some of these people are pretty respectable. Actually, speaking of Norris, I know you're a big Tyler Fornes guy. He was one of them, right? Went back and watched the all 22 and said that Kevin O'Connell actually called a really good game, that Wentz just didn't perform the way he was supposed to, or he didn't. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think.
That's it. To perform well.
Yeah, I mean, didn't see wide open guys. Didn't complete the passes to the ones that were open. Process is kind of slow. Like, there was good plays or whatever, but he just staring down wide receivers and things like that, which were things that I didn't really expect to see from Carson Wentz. But
right. But then again, this guy is, a little rusty. He's played, obviously started for 6 different teams 6 years in a row, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is very fair.
But I mean, he's also started like one game where it didn't matter at the end. Like, these are meaningful snaps that he's getting. And again, the team around him is not great with the offensive line right now. So I get it. There is a lot to harp on.
Which at the same time, I'm not even saying like.
Right. And I mean, and there probably should be some play calls where it's just 2-step drop. You have 2 reads. And if it's not there, dump it down to a check down guy. Like, I get that. But yeah.
Running out of some time here. So let's jump into some predictions on this one. Casey, what do you have in this game against the Cleveland Browns? Everybody, let us know what your predictions are in the comments.
I guess you want to start with just score predictions and go into other things, because my other predictions are based off of my score predictions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty handily. So, Like I said, I think this is going to be an ugly, sloppy game. I said it feels like Jacksonville. I think the score is similar to Jacksonville. I'm going 12-6. Vikings win in a kickout field goal game. I think Will Reichert ends up being the MVP of this game because he's the only one that puts points on the board for us. I think it's going to be a sloppily played game. I get we have a ton of talent on offense, but that defense is solid. Our offensive line's an absolute disaster right now. I still think Jefferson, Addison, I think they still get their yards to move the team down the field, put Reichert in some advantageous situations. But yeah, I think this ends up being an ugly, sloppy game. Yeah, so I'm going 12-6, all field goals, no touchdowns. Vikes find a way to get it done. We leave the fans of London never wanting the NFL to come back ever again.
Yeah. I'm going to take a different take. And I said 14-10 on Bleacher Report. I'm going to switch that to 17-10. I can't.
Big jump.
Well, I just can't imagine us not hitting a field, we've taken one every single game. I can't imagine against this game not having a field goal, but I also don't think it's going to be super high scoring. But I do think we get in a red zone a couple times, and I did mention that the Cleveland Browns are bottom 5 in the NFL in red zones and have a lot of touchdowns, 75% touchdown rate if you get to the red zone against this defense. So I do think we get there at least, a couple times, hopefully. And you got two of the best wide receivers in the NFL and against a team that has allowed the second most touchdowns to wide receivers. So I do think you're going to see a couple touchdowns from the Vikings in this one. And then obviously the Will Reichert field goal. And then on the other side, I'm going to say the Browns end up getting a touchdown against us and then a field goal on top of that. 17-10 Vikings. I do think, especially against Gabriel, having a rookie quarterback against a Flores defense, I do think we should be the favorites for this. I think we are the favorites, but we should be the favorites for this game. Trying not be so biased, but I like every game so far up to this point. I definitely think the Vikings had the best chance of winning those games.
Hey, F it. I'm calling it right now. Want to talk bold prediction.
Salute.
Minnesota football, Ohio sweep. Gophers, Saturday night, go into the shoe. Take down Ohio State.
Damn, that's
leave
bold.
them licking their wounds the next morning. I wake up energized from that big W in Ohio for the Vikings to
kick be ass against. When was the last time they've beat Ohio State?
We've beaten Ohio State one time
ever in history.
Yes, we're 1-29 against them.
Yeah,
and it was whenever Ron Johnson, one of the guys that works for the Vikings, played for the Gophers as a receiver. Whatever year he was in college, they won that. Someone in the comments, if you guys know when that was, let me know. But yeah, the Gophers have beaten Ohio State one time.
Okay. Well, now 2 times, hopefully. Bold predictions, though. I guess I'll start here. I'm going to stick with offense. I obviously keep talking about wide receivers, keep talking about Justin Jefferson, keep talking about Jordan Addison. Last week, Jordan Addison comes back. Justin Jefferson has his best game, finally breaks over 100. I think they each get over 100. I think this game, I don't know if they each hit over 100, but I do think they get 200 yards combined, which is very bold against this defense. I just feel like I feel like they'll focus on the run. I don't know. But overall, I just think the Vikings will do a good job in this one from a wide receiver standpoint. And especially, you got that chemistry, Jordan Addison. You saw the chemistry with Jordan Addison and Carson Wentz kind of come together towards the end. Obviously, in this game again, I hope this game starts just like the last one did. Give Justin Jefferson the ball 5 times in a row.
Yeah, and I think look, Carson Wentz will play pretty good in his last start this year for the Vikings. That's what I think. I think he's going to look just good enough to win us this game, but I do think it's his last start. Then we'll go to JJ McCarthy next week or 2 weeks.
Hey, let's go. Kinetic. This is a tough one. I got Bowers questionable. Did he play off last week? Bowers?
Bowers, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably do Warren. I don't know. That Raiders offense is kind of garbage right now.
Yeah. Warren has been cooking. I have Warren too. He has been cooking.
Ooh, 180 for Jefferson. Okay, I like that.
Okay, so then I would only need 20 from Addison at that point.
I need more from Addison. I have him in 2 leagues, and I'm starting him in.
Did you say your defense? Sorry, you just gave your special teams bold prediction.
Oh, well, yeah, no, Will Reichert kicks all 4 field goals. I think he hits 1 from 62. They do the halftime thing again, and Dallas Turner. This is his game. I keep calling for it. We're gonna need him this game. It's going to be a sack off, which sounds weird, but Dallas Turner, I think, gets 2.
Hey, let's go. And on the defense side of the ball, I do think if you stop the run game, I think stopping the run game by itself could do enough. It could be really, 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 really ugly. but I think that by itself could be enough for us to win this game and make Gabriel have to use his arm with her offensive line as well and kind of subpar receiving game. So yeah, I do think the Vikings do that and keep that Cleveland rushing game under 75 yards in
That
total,
would be
which is
big.
mostly just Judkins. So
Yeah. That one touchdown he said for the Browns is going to be Judkins. He's going to get in the end zone one time just for
yeah.
but it's not going to matter at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah. So 3-2, we both think that'd be huge going into the bye week, and that schedule is obviously the schedule after. I'm sure next week it's going to be a lot of talk about quarterback. So yeah, so this is a big one. I mean, for the Carson Wentz believers, this is kind of a game where he needs to kick it into high gear and win.
Hey, what's up, Roger?
Doing it if he wants a shot at keeping this job, because I think if he just looks average and McCarthy's healthy and ready to play, I think they go back to the young kid, especially if that offensive line is closer to full strength. But yeah, I mean, this one again must win, like you said earlier. It really isn't, because if you you're still only 2-3 and there's still a lot of time to turn it around. But you'd love to go into the bye on a high note, 3-2, and get healthy.
Yeah.
But anything else from you?
No, that's it, man. Let's just
all right. Well, hey, like we said, a little bit later
one
one tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us and joining. We will be obviously this weekend Bleacher Report right after the game, 11:30 a.m. bright and early, breaking down a hopeful win. Yeah, and then we'll original programming next week that we'll keep you guys updated on. And everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy some football. See you guys Monday.